Donald Trump is panicking as Iran is threatening a massive retaliation against Donald Trump and his regime and American interests in the Middle East after Donald Trump directed the United States Navy to attack an Iranian ship that was in the Persian Gulf that the Trump regime claimed was trying to evade the United States blockade of the Persian Gulf. CENTCOM released video of the United States Navy attacking this Iranian ship, boarding and interdicting this Iranian ship.
So MeidasTouch just exposed how Trump's reckless escalation with Iran is creating a full-blown international crisis that could crash the global economy. We're seeing real-time market manipulation, diplomatic disasters, and Trump reportedly panicking in the White House. Let's break down exactly how catastrophically wrong this is going.
Iranian leaders responded that this was an act of piracy, that they intend to massively retaliate against United States interest in the region, and that while Donald Trump says that he's going to be sending negotiators to try to reach a deal with Iran in Pakistan on Tuesday, tomorrow, the Iranians are saying, why would we want to meet with you in Islamabad, in Pakistan, if you continue to escalate and have this blockade and that you're not agreeing to the 10-point negotiating framework that was a precondition to the ceasefire, and all you do is try to use the negotiation to achieve things you couldn't achieve in war. Your threats against us aren't working, so why would we even want to negotiate? And we intend to retaliate against the United States interests.
This is textbook diplomatic strategy. Iran correctly recognizes that negotiating while under active military attack is legitimizing aggression. Trump's demanding they come to the table while simultaneously attacking their ships. It's like asking someone to dinner while punching them in the face.
I wouldn't be shocked if it goes up more than that this morning. In addition, we saw the markets tanking on the news that, yes, Donald Trump, guess what, manipulated the markets on Friday, claimed he had all of these deals with Iran, which was a total fabrication. Iran denied it. Donald Trump escalated things this weekend, and Iran said, okay, well, then negotiations are off. I guess we're not going to meet you in Islamabad if this is how you're behaving. I'll share with you Donald Trump's post. I'll share with you Iran's response, and this is where we are.
Market manipulation by sitting presidents is both illegal and devastating. Trump's fake Friday announcements about Iran deals that didn't exist artificially moved oil futures, enriching his allies while ordinary Americans face higher gas prices. The SEC should be investigating this immediately.
Then Trump says, no more Mr. Nice Guy. And then Trump says that we're offering a fair and reasonable deal with Iran. I hope they take it. If they don't, the United States is going to knock out every single power plant, every single bridge in Iran if they don't take the deal.
Threatening civilian infrastructure like power plants and bridges constitutes war crimes under Geneva Conventions. Trump's threatening to destroy Iran's basic utilities that civilians depend on for survival. This isn't tough diplomacy. It's the language of international criminals.
As Donald Trump's like, no more Mr. Nice Guy, Iran responded. They call him by many names, idiot, madman, psychopath, but not a nice guy.
When your adversaries mock you instead of fearing you, deterrence is dead. Iran calling Trump names signals they don't view him as a serious strategic threat. Dictators respect strength, not tantrums. This mockery actually emboldens Iranian hardliners.
Today, an Iranian flag cargo ship named Tuska, T-O-U-S-K-A, nearly 900 foot long and weighing almost as much as an aircraft carrier, tried to get past our naval blockade, and it did not go well for them. The U.S. Navy guided missile destroyer USS Spruance intercepted the Tuska in the Gulf of Oman and gave them fair warning to stop. The Iranian crew refused to listen, so our Navy ship stopped them right in their tracks by blowing a hole in the engine room. Right now, U.S. Marines have custody of the vessel. The Tuska is under Treasury sanctions because of their prior history of illegal activity. We have full custody of the ship and are seeing what's on board. Donald J. Trump and CENTCOM released video.
Interdicting ships in international waters during ceasefire talks violates maritime law and destroys any remaining trust. Iran's right. This is piracy disguised as enforcement. Trump just gave Iran perfect justification to withdraw from negotiations entirely.
Iran's ambassador in Pakistan wrote, "You cannot keep violating the international law, double down on your blockade, threaten Iran with further war crimes, insist on unreasonable demands, pace out with rhetorics, and pretend to be pursuing diplomacy. As long as the naval blockade remains, fault lines remain. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps aerospace chief writes Iran's missile drone launch pads replenish faster than before the war. Iran's president Pezeshkian says that Trump lacks the justification to deprive Iran of its nuclear rights, and top Iranian lawmakers are saying Iran stands firm on its preconditions for talks with the United States, a ceasefire in Lebanon, a release of frozen assets, control of the Strait of Hormuz.
Notice how coordinated Iran's response is. Ambassador, military chiefs, president, all on message. Compare that to Trump's chaotic social media rants. Iran's preconditions are actually reasonable. End the blockade, release frozen assets, respect their territorial waters. Trump's the unreasonable party here.
Iran did indeed confirm that interdiction of their ship, the Tuza, and they said they will retaliate soon and there will be serious retaliation. Iran's state-run Tasnim news agency says attack on an Iranian container ship by American terrorists confirmed. The self-proclaimed greatest military force in the world has now become the leader of pirates. American terrorist military forces attacked an Iranian container ship named Tuska, which was traveling from China to Iran in the Gulf of Oman a few hours ago.
Iran calling U.S. forces terrorists and pirates is devastating propaganda that resonates globally. When America acts lawlessly, we lose moral authority that took decades to build. This language will spread across the global south, further isolating us diplomatically.
After the American attacked the ship, Iranian forces also attacked some American military ships with drones. Trump claimed a few hours ago that the American terrorists seized the ship. Iran had previously announced that it would retaliate against American actions.
This is escalation spiral theory playing out in real time. Trump attacks ship, Iran retaliates with drones. Now both sides are locked in tit-for-tat responses. Each escalation makes de-escalation harder. We're witnessing how wars accidentally start.
And then it includes right here the Bloomberg terminal code for dated Brent, basically showing market manipulation, that there were traders who knew about the announcements that Donald Trump would make to manipulate the market to try to lower the price of Brent crude futures or increase it, depending on how Trump's wanted to manipulate the market with his right-wing oligarchs.
Iran having detailed Bloomberg terminal codes proves sophisticated intelligence penetration of U.S. financial markets. This suggests insider trading coordination between Trump allies and foreign intelligence. The national security implications here are staggering.
In other words, the Strait of Bab al-Mandab, the one in the Red Sea, which would shut down traffic in the Red Sea and bring the prices of oil up to $200 per barrel. That's what Iran is threatening now.
Red Sea closure would trigger immediate global recession. 40% of world trade passes through there. $200 oil means $8 gas, supply chain collapse, and economic devastation that makes 2008 look mild. Trump's risking civilization.
First scenario is utilizing these preparations to create psychological pressure in order to extract concessions in the negotiating room. America, on one hand, issues threats, and on the other, keeps intensifying negotiation signals in the media. Iran has presented its proposals based on realism and in accordance with the fundamental rights of the Iranian nation, and it is America that must abandon its excessive demands. Therefore, just as such pressures and threats in the past have had no effect on the negotiating table, this time too they will have no effect. The second scenario involves storytelling about negotiations in order to prepare the ground for a surprise and rapid military attack on some of Iran's islands.
Iran's strategic analysis is sophisticated and probably accurate. They've gamed out Trump's psychology perfectly. He threatens, then seeks negotiations. Repeat. This predictability makes him exploitable. Smart adversaries study your patterns and use them against you.
Iran is fully prepared this time as well and considers the scenario of war more likely than continued negotiations. Therefore, Iran is prepared too with the reconstruction and preparation it has undertaken over the past 2 weeks, cement the unforgettable hellish hours right from the outset of renewed conflict with America and Israel.
Unforgettable hellish hours suggest Iran's prepared asymmetric warfare targeting U.S. economic infrastructure, possibly cyber attacks on power grids or financial systems. Their confidence indicates capabilities Trump doesn't understand. This isn't bluster, It's a genuine threat assessment.
The latest NBC approval polling has Donald Trump at 37%, 63% disapprove. His support of Iran is net negative 34 at this point. I mean, absolutely horrific.
37% approval during international crisis shows the rally around the flag effect isn't happening. Americans recognize Trump's incompetence is creating the crisis, not solving it. These numbers make him politically radioactive to Republican senators.
Our military leaders are saying Trump's like pacing around the White House, like literally panicking, just walking back and forth and yelling and screaming like a lunatic. And, you know, one of the things that generals are saying, it's like, look, if you want to go to war, you're going to have to send troops to war, Donald. Like, lots of people are going to die. If you want to take Kharg Island by force, our military can do it. You're just going to have to accept massive casualties. And Trump then resists sending American soldiers to take Kharg Island. For example, the launch point for 90% of oil exports, as Wall Street Journal reports, because even though he's told the mission would succeed, Donald Trump is scared of the high American casualties.
Kharg Island handles 90% of Iran's oil exports. It's their economic jugular. Military leaders telling Trump the mission requires massive casualties means thousands of dead Americans. His refusal shows he knows this war is unwinnable at acceptable cost.
And you make a deal, you're going to have to give Iran a lot of victories at this point because they achieved more on the battlefield than you did in terms of control of the Strait of Hormuz. So what you're going to pick, Donald? You can't just have everything. You're sending social media posts and making contradictory, deranged statements that one day is this, one day is that. That's not working. That's not a real strategy. So what are you going to do?
Trump's strategic position has completely collapsed. Iran controls the Strait of Hormuz. His threats aren't working, and he can't use military force without massive casualties. Social media tantrums aren't foreign policy. His ego prevents him from accepting reality.
And Trump's like pacing back and forth, panicking. That's what the Wall Street Journal article says. That's what we're hearing from numerous other sources.
Multiple sources confirming Trump's panic fits the pattern from his first presidency. When faced with real consequences, he melts down. But now the stakes are global war and economic collapse. His psychological instability has never been more dangerous.